welcome to my journey to life as a teacher in the next 5 years. So, what are you waiting for? Fasten your seatbelt and explore my journey as you get to know me. This is me, Angela. As a student, I currently studying at Carlos Hilado Memorial State University, taking up the Bachelor of Science major in Filipino, third year student, Section B. As a child, I am a middle child who always at the needs of all. A caring, loving, sweet, and kind of a sister. Everyone's called me Gigi or Angel. And lastly, as a future educator, I am passionate kind of teacher who are willing to open a change, to spread positivity, and to become an effective teacher. So let's start to my life goals on how to become a teacher. First is to graduate or finishing my college. First thing should I need to do is to accomplish to finish my college and to graduate. For me to move to the next level, to become a licensed professional teacher. However, to become an LPT passer, I should need to take a board exam first, and that is my goal. And next, to develop my personal skills in communication. Of course, the next level of my life is to practice, enhance, or develop my communication skills because it is essential for me as a teacher to have these soft skills so that I can better understand my students to resolve conflicts and manage the classroom effectively. And next is to travel abroad and teach. What if my goal in life is to work in abroad and to be a teacher there for a reason that it's a jumping off point for me to adventure internationally and to experience other culture and to become practical? Teachers in abroad has a lot of incentives or benefits as well as teacher can get high salaries. And lastly, is to aspire and inspire students. As a future educator, I want to aspire and inspire my students by motivating them all the way. I want to give them a positive environment that they can freely express themselves, inspiring them to become an impact on their classmates. My expected affiliation. I can see myself working abroad as a teacher, preferably in Thailand. Working abroad is my dream and I preferably want to work in country of Thailand. I want to immerse myself for the culture, experience how system is there and I think the salary there is well paid. And next, I want to experience working in public schools as a Filipino teacher. I also want to experience working in public schools, especially in my alma mater, which is Enrique B. Magallanes National High School. I want to experience working with my former teachers and share my knowledge and skills to my beloved school. I want to inspire others that every impossibilities of life happened, there's still a hope, and that hope will be a representation of myself. I want to show them that if you strive to reach your dreams, you can possibly achieve it in God's name. That's why I want to go back to my true home. And also, I want to try universities and private schools. Next is the principles that I will uphold to my students. First is to promote inclusive classroom. As a future teacher, I will foster a welcoming and inclusive classroom environment where all my students will feel safe to express themselves, share their thoughts, and participate actively in the learning process. Second is the challenging biases and stereotypes. As a future educator, my role is to promote a classroom culture that values diversity and foster understanding and empathy among the students. I will value and appreciate the diverse backgrounds, culture, experiences, and perspective that students bring to the classroom. And also, I want to avoid biases and to be fair to my students. Next is integrity. Honesty is very important inside the classroom, and to become a teacher, I want to have an honest self so that I cannot harm my students. I want to be fair and understanding all the way. Be passionate. I think I have this passionate side, and I can use it to someday to become a teacher. I will love my job so that I can inspire a lot of students. And lastly, go with the flow. Go with the flow to yourself. It doesn't mean that you are going to agree to other people, even if it's wrong, but go with the flow of your life. Just do what you think you are good with and go with what makes you become a better educator. values to share with my students. The first one in my list is respect, because respect is the most important thing or values that we should share to our students. Students to respect their teachers, and both teachers and students to respect themselves to create a positive environment and have an effective learning and teaching process. Next is integrity, so that biases will be avoided, and as a teacher, I should need to become a good example for them to also build honesty to themselves. Passionate, as an educator, if I have an enthusiasm knowledge, it will inspire my students to become lifelong learners themselves. They should also become passionate to their work as what they can see to their teacher. Accept diversities. As a teacher, I should need to accept diversity, appreciate their values of everyone differences so that I will be set as a good example for my students. And lastly, kindness. Kindness is also one of the best values to be imparted to my students, but I will start with myself so that I could be a good role model to them. Students need to develop being selfless, caring, compassionate, and unconditionally kind to others. Soft skills I will have to develop. The following I should need to develop are communication skills. As a future teacher, communication skills is the most important thing I should need to develop because it is not only conveying information, but also to foster open and respectful dialogue with my students. Next is patience. Teaching can be challenging, and teachers need patience and resilience to handle setbacks, manage conflicts, and support students who may face difficulties. So, as a teacher, I should need to develop these skills to remain calm even in a stressful situation. Adaptability and flexibility. Teachers often encounter unexpected situations or changes in the classroom. So, as a teacher, it allows me to adjust to my plans, teaching strategies and approaches to meet the needs of my students effectively. Time management. We all know teacher has a busy schedule, so time management is very crucial. That's why as a teacher, properly manage time for an effective classroom environment is important. And lastly, emotional competence. As a teacher, I should need to develop it to understand and connect with my students on an emotional level. Contributions to the society or to my students. First is to become an inspiration and a good example. Second, create inclusive classroom. Third is to become environmentalists. I can contribute to my society to get a good example for my student by sharing on how to preserve the environment. It doesn't mean that if you are a teacher, you are not to have a role to your environment. It is important that my students would be aware of their surroundings. Empowered education. As a teacher, I want to empower my students and others by sharing my knowledge, skills, and critical thinking abilities. The next and the last one is the role model for being a taxpayer. As a teacher, even we can get a low salary from the government, we still need to be a good taxpayer. And for me, I want to become a good role model for other teacher or with my colleagues. Being a pride for my alma mater. First is to become a board passer or pass the license short exam. I think I will give pride to my alma mater by passing the board exam and to become an LPT. Next is being an ambassador. I will proudly share my educational journey and achievements with others, both within and outside my alma mater. Act as an ambassador for my institution, promoting its strengths, values, and accomplishment. And lastly is to inspire others through my life experiences. I will become an inspiration to other people through my life experiences. My original motto as a person or as a teacher. I believe life is tough, and so are you. Life always gives us impossibilities, but this impossibilities is not the dead end. That would be all. Thank you.